Equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions have the same value, even though they use different numbers. Our directions are to fill in the equivalent fractions below. So after discussing what are equivalent fractions, we want to figure out how we can create equivalent fractions. The first step to do this is by using the pictures or the pies. The very first pie in the top left corner is in half, meaning that there's a whole pie and we cut it in half. It's in two pieces, one half to the left, one half to the right, and both halves make the whole thing, or two halves. So we have our picture, and then right below it, we have the fraction that represents the picture. Two halves make one whole. 2 is the numerator for two parts. 2 is the denominator for two total parts. So two parts shaded out of two total parts. Now we have the same circle or the same pie, but this time we cut it into 4 pieces. There are 4 total pieces, so the denominator is 4. How many pieces are shaded in? We see 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces shaded in, or 4 pieces are in yellow. So the numerator is therefore 4. They are equal or they are equivalent. Both of these fractions are equivalent, meaning that they have the same value. We can see this by the picture or the pies. 2 halves equal 1 whole. 4 fourths equal 1 whole. They're the same value, the same pie, the same size, the same amount is shaded in. This all represents the same value. Let's take a look with the next set of pictures to the right. This pie has a total of how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total pieces. Denominator 8. How many parts are shaded in? 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of that pie are shaded in, so the numerator is 4. Now we want to make an equivalent fraction. We're doing this by using pictures, or in this case, the pies. I've shaded in half the pie. One part is shaded, that's the numerator. There are 2 total parts, that's the denominator. The same amount of each pie is shaded, even though this one is shaded in the top portion, it's still half. This one is shaded to the left of the pie, or the left half, but it's the same amount that's shaded. 4/8, 4 parts shaded out of 8, 1 half, 1 part shaded out of 2, gives us the equivalent fractions 4/8 and 1 half. They are equivalent or they are equal. They are the same value. The 2 pictures are the same value or the same amount shaded in each of the pies. The 2 fractions are equivalent and are the same value. Next part, I will have you try it, and then we will come back and see if we've come up with the correct results. Take a screenshot, pause the video, but actually we're going to end it right here and we'll come back to check our findings. See if you can practice by doing these 2 problems. The one on the left shows us 3/4 is shaded. We have to figure out how many eighths are shaded, and that will show us that they are equivalent. See if you can do that with the problem to the right. 2/3 of this pie is shaded. We need to figure out how many ninths are shaded, and that will give us another pair of equivalent fractions. Happy learning!